What's going on, you guys? This is RBG, aka the Random Black Gamer, bringing you another video on Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. As you're aware, we're currently going to be receiving some new updates that'll shake things up for the foreseeable future, but with that said, I have been concerned about some of these things because there are characters that are returning who should have been in the game from the jump, and it makes me ask the question, is it going to be worth it if they are put behind a paywall, and what is Spike Chunoft going to do to alleviate that? So we're going to talk about that today. But before we do that, I want to ask you guys to do me the biggest favor and like this video. Yeah, I know it's a bit annoying getting this request at the very beginning of a video before you watch it in its entirety, but YouTube's algorithm encourages it. So if you rock with your boy, and you know I'm going to bring you that awesome content, then smash that like button. But if by any chance you feel like you wasted 10 minutes of your time that you can't get back, then feel free to retract that like and give it a dislike. Just rate the video. But yeah, guys, I have just been wondering about this for the longest time because I feel like there's so much about this game to love. The graphics look good. It seems like it is a love letter to the fans of the Sparking / Tenkaichi series, but things didn't get off to a good start. There were things that were lacking in certain quantities, especially with the characters and also the story mode, which I really hope does a 180. I really want them to delve into that and provide things that are going to keep us playing for years to come, because I feel like they went into this thing only focused on the online aspect, where they knew that people were going to be wanting to play each other online and have these competitive battles, but even that's been shown to be a little bit wonky since players can exploit certain things that are kind of broken with certain characters. Everybody really wants this game to win, and it has all of the necessary ingredients to do so, but it's just the way that it's been executed that has people wondering what exactly is Spike Chunoft going to do. While they have shown that they actually do have things planned for this game, how long are they going to stick to it? Is it going to be something that they just build our hopes up for only to let us down, or are they going to stay committed for the long run? If they plan on doing the latter, then they need to live up to the potential that the other games laid out for them, because the original trilogy managed to do so much with so little. Even though the original team was working with limited hardware, they were able to actually maximize the potential of it and bring us a Dragon Ball Z experience that felt authentic. The sound design was one of the biggest standouts to me, and some of the rush attacks still look better than some of the new stuff that we have now. I'm not saying that it's bad by any comparison, but I'm just saying it's just something about the feeling that just doesn't hit how it does with the old games. There's also the modes themselves. Like, I feel like one of the things that people always neglect when it comes to Dragon Ball Z games is the features. While I do love stepping into the shoes of the Z fighters, I love experiencing things outside of battling. And this goes beyond the Tenkaichi series. We're talking all the way back to the Budokai games. I vividly remember playing Dragon Ball Infinite World and being able to train with Vegeta in the gravity room. And there's also the whole training on King Kai's planet and chasing bubbles. We don't really see things like that in Dragon Ball fighting games anymore. We've only been able to get it in games like Dragon Ball Kakarot, which isn't even a fighting game, it's an action RPG, which is why I feel like these games desperately need to return to that. And there's also the costume aspect of this, because when we first got Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, they featured these slots with customizations in mind, and I felt like we were going to get so many costumes, which, don't get me wrong, we did get a fair amount of them, but I feel like there were so many things that were missing, especially for secondary characters such as the villains. They didn't even get recolors of their pre-existing costumes. There was just so many different things lacking in that area as well. And once again, I gotta go back to the Budokai series, because the Budokai games managed to give us a lot of alternate costumes, and this goes all the way back to the first entry in that particular series. You get costumes like Goku's Terry Bogard Mark of the Wolf look, and even though the game's timeline only went up to the Cell Saga, they were still able to go into later arcs such as costumes like Vegeta's casual attire that he would wear when he was out with his family, and Android 17's outfit that he wore when he merged with his Hellfighter form. There wasn't one character that went without an alternate costume or color in that game, and based on some of the details that Spike Chunoft has been providing in regards to this new update, I feel like they're going to deliver on that front, because they've already been showing off costumes for characters like Teen Gohan that not only serve as cosmetics, but also utilize certain moves that were done when the character was wearing the costume. And that's something that I wouldn't mind paying a little money for. I feel like if they do put the time and dedication into that, that particular aspect, fans will be happy to fork out a little cash for it. But with all that said, I gotta talk about what I mentioned earlier, and that's my apprehension about characters that are gonna be added that should have been added earlier because they were once included in the original trilogy. And it's because of that fact I feel like we shouldn't have to pay for them this time around. That honor should be reserved for those who have yet to be featured in a Sparking game. If you aren't aware, the characters that will be making a return come from the movies, the filler arcs, as well as the Dragon Ball original series and Dragon Ball GT. There is also another character that existed out of the Dragon Ball world but was created by Akira Toriyama by the name of Aurelie, who came from the Dr. Slump series. That's a fun character that I really enjoyed using, especially when I wanted to troll my friends, who honestly felt like she fit right in since she had already been featured in Dragon Ball, and now she's been featured in Dragon Ball Super, so I don't know why they didn't add her in. I'm not sure if it was due to copyright reasons, but I hope to the Dragon Ball gods that she eventually does make it in. But the characters that we do know are officially making a return consist of Demon King Piccolo from Dragon Ball, Super 17 from Dragon Ball GT, Pikkon from the Otherworld Tournament, Mercenary Tao from Dragon Ball, Grandpa Gohan from Dragon Ball, Zonya from the movie BoJack Unbound, and Spike the Devil Man from Dragon Ball. And these characters look like they're going to be returning with their pre-existing movesets from Tenkaichi 3, which is a great thing. Although the animations for some of the pre-existing classic rush attacks have been hit or miss, I can't deny the fact that most of them look really good, and I feel like they're going to do some of these other rush attacks a huge service, especially for the Dragon Ball portion of the roster. Like, we've seen what they've done with Kid Goku, because his ultimate finisher, the Super Dragon Fist, looks very good. It's arguably my favorite ultimate attack in the entire game, but I don't feel like that's worth paying additional money for it. If they are going to charge us for these returning characters, then they need to bring something else with them. Like, that was already one of the biggest complaints players had when it came to bringing new characters to the game. They didn't come with anything else, which was a bummer, because when I played this game for the first time and I saw what they were doing with Episode Battle, I instantly assumed that we were going to be getting new DLC characters that would come with their own episodes for the mode, or at least come with some maps that are associated with them. Which is funny, because the only character that they did do that with was Goma, and that's after we got all these other DLCs such as Dragon Ball Superhero DLC, which should have instantly came with that awesome Red Ribbon base map. And don't even get me started on the stages that we should have gotten off the rip, because I can name a lot of those, and I hope they do add them. But yeah, these are noticeable things that I feel like need to be addressed, especially with these returning characters. Now, one of the things that has kind of reassured me that this is going to come with something extra would be the fact that pretty much all the different characters that are making a return share a similar era, such as Demon King Piccolo, General Tao, Grandpa Gohan, and Spike the Devil Man. And even though Zonya is the only character from BoJack Unbound that's going to be brought over, I need to point out the fact that we're going to be getting that BoJack Unbound costume for Teen Gohan, so there could be some significance there where we have these batches of characters that come from the same era, and they're also going to be featuring their own story mode or some form of content that reflects the eras that they come from, which I'm hoping that we get both. I'm also hoping that they give Kid Goku his original costume that he had, as opposed to that special anniversary costume that we got for the main game, because I don't like that costume. It looks trash. So just give us the OG costume back. As a matter of fact, all these new characters that are returning, give them some alternate costumes as well as accessories, because that's another thing that's been lacking in the main game. No accessories, even though the slots are available for those said accessories. Like, that should be the top priority for Spike Chunoft right now. We gotta prioritize the story mode, we gotta prioritize returning characters as well as new characters, and we need to prioritize the cosmetics and the stages. And most importantly of all, give us some more modes. Make us feel like we are really experiencing this world, where we get the experience moments from the anime and manga, such as the Gravity Room and all these other things. Like, let us run on Snake Way like we did in Infinite World. If we can get back to where we used to be, I'm pretty sure people will return to this game. But with all that said, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to you. Do you feel like you should be charged extra money for returning characters who should have been in the game from jump? Or do you feel like they have the right to charge us extra money as long as they bring more to the table than just giving us those characters? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, I ask that you like or dislike the video. It doesn't have to be a thumbs up, it can be a thumbs down. But if you really enjoyed this video, it would help me out tremendously if you shared it with all your friends and family members on all the different social media outlets. Sharing really makes a difference. But once again, this is RBG, aka the Random Black Gamer, signing out on another video. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.